What's good, everybody? Lovely Soul Empress here, coming to do another daily. Okay, so I know you guys have been watching the news, and I felt like it was time to do a Roe versus Wade, the fallout reading, because there's a lot going on. What's good, Tamila? What's good, Copenhagen? So before we even get into that, though, I don't know if you guys have seen the news this morning. But we had been talking about, civil unrest and, the breaking down of the system around us and us stepping into this new timeline. And a couple weeks ago, we had the Prime Minister of the UK he's stepping down. He's resigned, but he hasn't left office yet. They're looking for a replacement. Right? You had what's good, Frequency Connects. You had the Sri Lanka uprising, right? And now we also have the Italian Prime Minister resigned today, and Congress members have been arrested. The system is making a joke of itself. Yes. What's good, Tammy? What's good, Pink? So as you see, there's shifts happening, okay? So the reason why I wanted to do this reading today was because I had seen the last week or so some terrible things happening in regards to the Roe versus Wade. Okay, so regardless of where you sit on the political spectrum, okay, because this reading is not going to be about that. Regardless of where you sit on the political spectrum, I mean, there was already a case in the state that I reside, Ohio, where there was a 10-year-old girl who had been raped, and she got pregnant. Okay, and she was slightly under 6 weeks, I believe. Okay, and they were refusing to give her an abortion. And so a doctor arranged for her to travel to Indiana, where it's still legal up to 22 weeks. And they found a doctor that made arrangements for her to come to Indiana to remove the child, okay? And they did. Okay, they did remove the child. And then people in Ohio, okay, the government of Ohio was accusing this to be like a false report. Okay, but it wasn't a false report. What's good, Rose? It wasn't a false report. Okay, and so after they realized that, they arrested the rapist, right? But then some politician, I think it was the Attorney General of Indiana, started saying that this doctor who performed it in Indiana should be arrested for performing it, because he was accusing her of not doing her due diligence and notifying the proper agencies. Now, she did notify the proper agencies, and she had the paperwork to back it up. But B, it's legal in their state. So as you see, they're already trying to demonize doctors, okay, for trying to be of assistance, okay? In a lot of states, they're pushing no abortion, no exception, meaning if the life of the mother is in jeopardy, if there is, a rape or incest, they don't want to address it, okay? So I just want to give you a couple more things before we move on, okay? There was a case, not sure what state it was in, but it was in one of the states where they banned abortion. And this woman was pregnant, but she miscarried. And for the men, or for the women who've never been pregnant and don't know, when you get pregnant, depending on the stage of your pregnancy, when you have a miscarriage, you need a DNC. Okay, a DNC is like when they scrape out the okay, and make sure there's nothing left back from the pregnancy, because it can cause septic infection. You can become septic, right? And so they're refusing to give these ladies DNCs, even though there's no fetal heartbeat, even though there's no pregnancy. Okay, so this woman was forced to walk around for 2 weeks with her deceased fetus inside of her, because she couldn't find a doctor who could do the procedure legally. Okay, so now not only are we restricting the bodies of women, but we're also torturing them. If you think that it was not torture for that woman to not only have lost her child, but then to have to walk around with the deceased fetus inside of her for 2 weeks, the emotional and mental trauma, people. Okay, they had another woman who was pregnant, and she had an ectopic pregnancy, and the doctor was calling around all agencies to get the clearance to save her life. In the interim time, her tube ruptured. She lost over 1 liter of blood and could have died. So this is what the overturning Wade has done. We're not talking about, for this, what we're talking about here, we're not even talking about whether it's right or wrong. Okay, listen, you're entitled to your own opinion. I personally believe abortion should be legal. I personally believe if you don't want an abortion, don't have one. Okay, but I feel like we need to, yes, she did. I saw something about that as well. I didn't get to watch it, but I saw her title. Okay, but anyway, point being, are we stepping back into the dark ages where women can't get vital health care? And what about those mothers who have 3 and 4 kids at home, who will be left motherless if that mother doesn't get vital care? Okay, and then in one of the states, I forget which one it was, I'll have to look it up and then post it in the community page, right? There was one state that banned abortion completely from conception, right? But then they turned around and said you can't get a divorce while you're pregnant. So not only they want to limit what you can do with your pregnancy, but they also want to give, so you could be in an abusive marriage getting your ass whooped, and you could be pregnant and trying to save your child by getting a divorce from an abuser, and they're gonna say no, you cannot do that because you haven't given birth. What the fuck is that about? Why are we returning to listen, they might as well tell women don't get fucking married, because if you get married, you give your rights over to your husband. Women, pay attention. Okay? Why would pregnancy make you ineligible for a divorce? Are they trying to say that women who are pregnant do not have the mental capacity to make decisions for themselves? It's upsetting. All right, you got 6th chakra archangel Metatron, right? This is the 3rd eye chakra. And this is why I came to do this reading today, because I want to know what spirit and the ancestors and the divine has to say about this, because I really feel like I really feel like this is a test. Okay, because we have elections coming up in November. And again, this is not about where you are on the spectrum. I have a feeling that a lot of Republican women are going to be crossing the aisle this time. Okay, so if we let them get this off, as women, I don't care where you are on the spectrum. I don't care if you're conservative. If it sits okay with you to force a 10-year-old to give birth to her rapist child, then there's something fucking wrong with you. Okay? What's good, Leah Lou? What's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? Right? There's got to be something fucking wrong with you, especially if you're a woman. If you're okay with a woman walking around with a dead fetus inside of her, you need your fucking head examined. Yes. And if that's your view, please unfollow. Please unfollow. Because I'm okay with it. Because this is probably not going to be your message any fucking way. Okay, so you got 4th chakra Archangel Raphael. Look at the heart chakra. Okay? Look at the heart chakra. The 3rd eye and the heart chakra lit up, okay? Because we should all feel heartbroken that the government has decided, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, that the government has decided to step into, first of all, church and state is supposed to be separate. As you see, that's not happening. That's how we got this law. Okay, secondarily, it's a question of humanity. It's a question of humanity. Are we a humane society or are we not? Okay, look at brokenhearted. Okay, so now the Divine Mother is returning at a time period where the Divine Feminine is being abused. And she's always been abused, but this is beyond, okay? We haven't seen this level of abuse in like 60, 70 years, okay? And this is a journey. This is a journey for the Divine Feminine. What are we going to do? Are we going to sit complacent? And let me talk to some of the other segments. Let's talk to some of the other segments about this. Okay? What's going on? You know, they already starting to talk about targeting gay marriage, interracial marriage, okay? Straight birth control. What groups you think are next? Okay? If we start letting them just take away rights, don't you understand that they're going to target all of us? So unless you are a 1%er, okay, where you are solely a white male who is a billionaire, then this system ain't for you. So you better start thinking about it. Let me just straighten these cards out, gang. I want to make sure we get our messages correct, because I feel like what Spirit is directing me to see is how, as a society, do we need to address this this targeting, okay? And I want to add something. I purposefully feel like they are targeting us so that we can be in a lower vibration. And this lowers the collective, and then it also lowers the 100 monkey theory, where this great awakening comes into the collective. And if they can lower our frequency, then they stop this, or they prolong or they prolong how long it takes to get to that tipping point, okay? Now remember, in the 60s, we had a great awakening too, and they found a way to put an end to that. So we need to be very mindful about what's going on and why this is happening right now. What do these people have to gain by torturing the feminines? Okay, and I saw something else too, where Congress was calling the mothers, they didn't want to use the term mothers. What was the term they were using? Birthing people. Birthing people. Since when is mother a bad term? Is this to disconnect from what the humanity of the woman, to see her as just a tool, a resource of the collective? So she's a slave, so she doesn't have an identity. Is this where we're headed? Birthing people. What kind of shit is that? Here's your first card. We must not lose the urgency of this moment, as it begs for us to begin something grand and important. And this is a huge fight, okay? We cannot ignore this, okay? Listen again. We must not lose the urgency of the moment, as it begs for us to begin something grand and important. This is the fight of our generation. This is what we came here for. Okay, we chose this timeline to come in and make a difference in what was happening. And I honestly, I feel like this is a slippery slope, and as tragic as it is for women in the collective, think about all the shit this opens the door to. Can we equal out the likes, please? It would be greatly appreciated. So I feel like this is a test run. If they can get half of the population to accept something that is so damaging, okay, and not get real pushback, then they know they can go after other things. You think that it's an accident? Yes. Is this about, raising a particular population? Yes. But also think about who they targeted first, okay? Think about who they targeted first. Because there have been statistics that say that white women have more abortions than minorities, right? So some people felt like they were targeting us, right? But they took their backing, okay, white women, and they say if we can do it to them and everybody accepts that, then, it's open season on the minorities. It's open season on the gays. It's open season on anything that is a smaller community. Because if we can do this to half the population, and really, they've been saying for decades now that there's one male for I don't know how many females, right? That there's more females. So they're actually doing to more than half of the population. And they want to see if we're going to let it ride. Okay, so you have those who have won major victories, realize that all the resources to win are within, and that most knowledge needed to succeed is acquired after action, right? So we may not know how to do it, but we know we got skin in the game. We know, listen, I already had my menopause. I'm not ashamed to say it, okay? But I have a daughter. I have grandsons. I have sons. This affects my sons too. Okay, don't be fooled. We must ask if our desires to feel safe and accepted are in fact enslaving us to popular opinion and to boredom. So, listen, ladies, and to my divine masculines who understand that the divine feminine is the original mother and must be protected above all. If you know this, then it's time to lay out in the streets. It's time to be an immovable force. It's time to make your voice heard. It's time to have your vote counted. It's time to call your Congress people. It's time to vote all the way down because a lot of time people go and they're like, okay, I don't know all these other people, so I'm not going to, vote down the line. I'm just going to vote for the presidency, or I'm just going to vote for the governor. Nah, no more of that shit. No more of that shit. Take 20 minutes, pull it up on Google, find out what these people's fucking beliefs are, because they affect not just you, not just your community, but the generations to come. We're losing rights right now. What's good, the goods? Okay? So we have life's greatest victories are won on the fields of love, okay? And we have, listen, the divine feminine is the frequency of love. This is what she brings. She brings the sweet waters of life, okay? So, I mean, we have the divine, the universe on our side, but we have to put our ingenuity, we have to put our energy, our force, our collective thoughts and action to change this, okay? Because we are to be radiant, grateful, and buoyant people. And I said to you, this is about lowering the collective's frequency. We have like 20 things being thrown at us at the time, okay? We got civil unrest all over the globe. We got a fucking heat wave going on. We got kids getting shot up in schools. We got, CERN. We've got, the Georgia Guidestones blowing up. I mean, it's fucking everywhere. But the truth is, women are dying right now. Right now. It's upsetting to me, okay? And let's talk about the masculines. Let's talk about the masculines. If pregnancy is at conception, if life begins at conception, then so should child support. Okay? So at the birth of a child, you'll already be in debt. I think that's a good start. I feel like if you have 3 children as a man and you have not been supporting those children, and because we're talking about religious reasons, right? So religiously, you should have married those women. Oh, you didn't marry them? Oh, you didn't take care of them? Oh, okay. Mandatory sterilization. Because you can't be trusted getting women pregnant, okay? Because you're not staying there for the aftermath. Let's start having mandatory sterilization. Right? They were talking about it with women who were having too many babies and being on child support. Well, let's target the men that leave seeds everywhere without regard. Let's start with them. Oh, you don't want to have birth control? Okay. Well, you know what we don't need? We don't need decrepit old men trying to get Viagra so they can get their dusty dick to still work. We don't need that shit either. Don't even get me started. What do we need you still blowing fucking dust bubbles if women can't have abortions? So who are you impregnating? Your time is up, right? If we're going to go by the natural thing of life, well, then your shit is done. Your season is over. I'm fucking over it. No, yes. Yes, BJ. What's good, BJ? They got me mad. I'm mad about this shit. It's a 10-year-old. It's a 10-year-old. We got women walking around with dead fetuses. Yeah, it's time to start sterilizing motherfuckers, okay? You want to have control over our vaginas? Well, I feel like, fair exchange ain't no robbery. We need to start shutting down penises then. I say it. I don't give a shit. And I feel like the men should be enraged. Do you have mothers, sisters, daughters? Like, what's going on? Okay? First quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. And it's in reverse, okay? Spirit is saying this is not the time to sit back and feel like somebody else is gonna fight this battle. It's our turn. I've said before, it was our parents that fought in the civil rights movement. If you're close to my age, okay? They were the ones who had skin in the game, and now it's our turn. First quarter moon in Virgo. Assess the situation. Spirit's like, yo, start checking in your state. Who are the people that need to get, who's up for election, that has these views, and then let's vote them the fuck out. Okay? First quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. Listen, women have way more power than they believe. Way more power, okay? I remember back when the orange one was running, there was a lot of masculines who were basically ordering their wives to vote for them. Well, guess what? We can do the same thing. No kitty for you if you vote for anybody who is down for this shit. Oh, so you feel like we shouldn't have abortion even in the face of death, even in the face of rape and incest? You don't believe in no exceptions? Well, I don't believe in any exceptions either. I can't give you my honeypot, okay? Because your views don't align with me. How about that? Okay? Watch how so many motherfuckers will be all of a sudden pro-choice, okay? Last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. They're going to try to distract us with all other types of shit. We have to stay focused. What are we voting? What are the lines we're voting? Not red or blue. Abortion, abortion, abortion. Not red or blue. Abortion, abortion, abortion. You don't give us our rights back, we will take you the fuck out. And that's that. They're talking about fucking trying to put doctors in jail. Let me tell you what the OBGYNs should do. All of them should get up and say, well, I'm sorry, I can't perform any healthcare in this state. I'm moving to another state where abortion is legal. And when they find that they don't have doctors to deal with their own pregnant community, they'll have to change the laws. They will have to. It will be a mass exodus of OBGYNs. Let's get it. Let's get it. We have way more power than they give us credit for, and we have to claim it. New moon in Gemini, think it through. Will there be consequences? Are we going to be sad? Yes. But you know what? All doctors are trained when they go into medical schools, okay, for any kind of medicinal practice. They have to serve a certain amount of weeks in every department, right? So you're going to have to take your heart doctors to go give birth, because all the OBGYN licensed doctors, yeah, we're up out of here. I'm telling you, this will work. First quarter moon in Leo, be humble. This ain't the time. You see a cross? This ain't the time to be quiet, okay? Closed mouths don't get fed. This ain't the time to be ladylike and to be worried about being judged. Fuck that. Okay? Let's see what these masculines that are doing this, because it's not all masculines, okay? I know a lot of masculines in my own personal life that would never, ever agree to something so heinous, so downright dastardly and not even caring about humanity, okay? So this is a very small, like 25% is ruling the 100%. And we can't permit that shit anymore. It's been going on too long. And let me tell you something. I'm sure that there's a lot of masculines that ain't gonna like this reading just because I said that they should be fucking sterilized. But listen, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you're not willing to allow women to have autonomy over their own bodies, then why should you have it? Get some skin in the game. Okay? Get some skin in the game. Let's talk about it all, okay? Let's not do half of it. Let's not do half of it. Anything else, Spirit? Status quo. This is not the time to play nice and footsies with the people that have decided that they don't value us, that they are not here to represent us, and that we're expendable. What's good, Jennifer LaRoe? Okay? I'm like super pissed off about this. Okay? And this might be an uphill battle, an adventure. For us, it may be an uphill battle, but they feel like they are restoring something, okay? Like this is fun for them. And we have to, yes, I saw that, Jennifer. We have to make it a thing where this mountain is too high for them to climb, that they're the ones that end up losing in the end. Okay, call to change. Listen, ladies, you got small boys, you need to start talking to them. I know a lot of times parents are like, oh, this is a heavy topic. Nah, let them know right now what's happening, because it affects them. Okay, look at this, oppressor, right? And listen, they know. They know. Look at puppet master, right? These are few people who are using the collective's views to control them, okay? To incite fervor, to keep these voters that they have in line, because they know that they're losing the majority of the nation, because the nation is younger, okay, more liberal, browner, more feminine, all this shit, right? So what do they want to do? They want to stop that. They want to return and keep power for as long as they can. What's good, Talk Tequila? Okay? So that's what they're attempting to do. And they know that the numbers are not going in their direction, and they have to do something, right? So this is a twofer, right? They can raise the population, lower the vibration, right? And use this as a test to see what other fucking rights they can take away. Lost dreamer. And they feel like we're not paying attention, okay? And they're confusing with that. When I was saying that they're hijacking our spiritual message, look at them. Confusing them with propaganda, right? Right? But we also have to be focused and use these new gifts that have come to us in this timeline, and recognize our power, and then use it unilaterally, not only in our society at large, but in our fucking homes. Oh, you believe like them? Oh yeah, we can't fuck with each other then. Sorry. Okay? Because this isn't the Handmaid's Tale. Okay? Athletes in reverse. You know that the feminine athletes get paid way less, right? They feel like as women that we don't have the stamina to stay in the fight. That we don't have the stamina to stay in the fight, okay? We got kids dying in fucking school, right? You got 375 officers on a property, and they're standing around for 77 minutes while kids are being killed. Let me pull some tarot, because I don't want to stay here all day. And as you see, I'm quite livid about this. Quite livid. Sorry, guys. I haven't really been staying up with the chat because I'm so fucking angry. I listen. Those three cases, okay, and I'm sure there's so many more, but those three cases, Okay, the one with the child being raped and they're trying to force her to have the baby, and then when she has the baby, they want to prosecute the fucking doctor, right? That's the first case. The second case was the woman who had a miscarriage, but she couldn't get her DNC done because basically through the law, it's written that that procedure is illegal. So she had to walk around with a dead fetus inside of her for 2 fucking weeks. Yeah, that's 2. That's too much. And then 3 was the woman who almost died from an ectopic pregnancy and her tube fucking exploded. So not only was she not going to have that child, but now she can't probably have any because her tube exploded. And that could have been prevented with just a modicum of humanity. Like, what the fuck is happening? This shit all happened. You can look it up. All right? And we need to get really angry. We need to be angry about this shit because they're going to try to distract us with all this other shit. And this is not fucking okay. It's not okay. It's not okay that we have women who can't even get a simple scraping after a miscarriage and could die from sepsis. Listen, as women, if we miss any elections, then we might as well be saying yes to this shit. Okay, there's no more excuses for not voting. Everybody was blaming, listen, you know, Obama because they wanted more done. Well, you should have voted in the 2-year term, okay, to keep him with the people in power so he could get things done. When we don't do that, right? And then the House and the Congress goes to the opposite party, whether it's Democrat or Republican, what you end up with is a lame duck session, meaning nothing can get through because they're going to block it. Okay? So you have to understand that just as important as voting in your 4-year term, the 2-year is more important. Why? Because when you're voting in the 2-year, you're voting for people who write the fucking laws, okay? The president's job is basically to make sure that people that work underneath are implementing the laws that Congress and the House of Representatives write. So we're only voting for the president, and then we end up with these assholes who've been there 40 and 50 years, okay? They're decrepit and they believe in archaic shit, and they're making determinations for our future. You want to protect our rights? Start voting for those 2-year terms, all right? Start looking up what they vote for. Start looking up whether they are really for the people or they're for the corporation. And then we'll see some fucking movement, okay? Because once they realize that their votes, so right now, they're getting away with shit because a lot of people don't vote in the 2-year terms. So they're like, fuck it. It don't matter. All we got to do is court that little segment of society that jumps up and down and does the primaries, okay? So then they don't have to worry about us because we don't show up anyway. So we're not their constituents. It's an illusion. 7 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Let's get into it. You got the Death card. People are dying and the situation needs to be transformed fucking immediately. Listen, this Death card is being clarified by the Ace of Cups. Oh, we love babies. We love children. That's why we're doing it. But they've been laying the groundwork with this for a very long time. And they felt like this was divine timing, that they had a window to pull this shit off. Because you know what? As women, we're becoming very powerful. Okay, we're getting into jobs that were solely for men in the past. Okay, we're actually outpacing our masculines in what we make yearly. We're getting too fucking independent, right? Phoenix Rising energy. What are they going to do about that? Oh, the Emperor is coming. The Emperor is coming. But this motherfucker don't got no clothes. He's not living in reality. Spirit, why is this Emperor here? Right? And look at him using manipulation and fear to say that he's trying to preserve the family. Okay? Families are under attack. No, families are not under attack. Okay? What it is that a certain segment of society wants to impose their beliefs on the collective, and they're doing it through their religious beliefs. Okay? And there's the freedom of religion in this country. Four of Swords. Look, with the Ace of Wands, they want us to do nothing. Just stay home, relax. It's not a problem. Ace of Wands, right? We're very passionate about this. You don't have, anything to worry about, okay? We're doing the things for the kids, right? You know how many foster kids there are in this country? How many of them go and adopt? If you care about the kids so much, I did it. Why don't you do it? Why don't you open your home if you're really sincere about caring about the children? Because it appears to me that once these children are born, they don't give a fuck about them. Ace of Cups is next. What's love got to do with it? Right? And the Seven of Pentacles, and they're not done yet. They're not done yet, okay? And as the collective, we need to recognize that love is stronger than fear. And although we may be fearful right now of what's going to happen to the collective, we need to put our own plan together because they're not done. There's only 7 Pentacles here, okay? 8 of Wands, and they've already communicated what their next agendas are going to be if you pay attention. 2 of Wands in reverse, okay? So what is this? That we feel powerless? Is that what they're trying to attain? That we should feel powerless? With the Devil here, okay, it's to restrict us, to bind us, to make us codependent. Food shortages, fuel prices, all types of inflation. Why? So that we could say, oh, you know what? Yeah, abortion is an important thing, but you know what we got to pay attention to? The economy, because, chicken costs $12. Listen, I'll pay for a $12 chicken if I can make sure that women are not walking around with deceased babies in their bellies. Don't try to fucking distract me with bullshit. 2 of Pentacles. And we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Okay? We can do 2 things at the same time. What they want us to be is think that we have no control. This is how we change the system. We vote them out. Okay? We make our voices heard. Okay? And we force agendas just like these extremists are forcing agendas. We can do that too. We can do that too. You want to be impactful? Find out what companies are supporting these Congress people and then boycott them. If you keep donating to people who are taking away our rights, we won't use your products. We won't shop in your stores. We won't buy your cars. We won't buy your clothes. We won't use Walmart. Or what's the pillow guy? Fuck them. Right? So they give us shoddy products any fucking way. Right? Nothing is labeled right. It's got chemicals and all types of shit. Right? So let's just start boycotting people. Not the Congress people. We have power over them. We can just vote on them, right? We need to boycott their supporters. these mega corporations that have been making a grip off of our suffering, yeah, it's time to leave them out in the cold. Three of Swords with the Five of Pentacles. And then you'll see how much power we really have, okay? Especially that in most households, who's spending the money? The mother, the feminine. Well, you know what? That must mean that Walmart can't get shit. Seven of Cups. Right? Because they're trying to confuse us, right? And the Six of Pentacles is here, right? So they tell, well, we're doing this for your own good, but really they're taking coins. These are backroom deals. Look, and who loses? The collective, right? Listen, ladies, most of us do control the purse strings. Let's start putting it where we have support, okay? Even if it costs $1 or $2 more, this is what we need to do. Like, seriously, we have daughters, we have sons who, you know, they're gonna have sex, right? High Priestess, right? With the Nine of Wands, it's up to those of us who can see the writing on the wall, right? We cannot lose, you know, we can't become apathetic, like, oh, I can't do anything, so this, oh, I don't have children anymore, so it doesn't affect me. No, listen, this affects everybody. When you have 10-year-old girls being forced into trying to give birth, okay, when you got women walking around with dead fetuses inside of them, this is a collective fucking problem. Okay? All right, I'm going to get one last deck and we're going to get up out of here. For my Patreoners and my YouTube membership, the air signs is uploading right now for August, okay? If you're interested in that, you need to join the YouTube membership or the Patreon membership. Air, Fire, and Earth is already up, okay? Well, Air is downloading right now, okay? Or I should say uploading right now. You got heart-to-heart conversations. Listen, they're not all women are going to agree about every topic, okay? Some women may feel like an abortion after a certain week is, you know, too far, right? And and in some other places, you know, some other women might feel like, you know what, okay, I only want to agree for rights of the woman if she's in danger, or, you know, for exceptions, right? Then we got to get on the same page with that to start with. We got to meet each other where we are to change shit now, okay? Heart-to-heart conversations. Women, we need to start having collective conversations about what, because a lot of these women who are saying this, they don't realize that this means that if their 10-year-old daughter gets raped, that she's not going to get the care that she fucking needs, okay? We need to start talking about it. We need to start talking to the masculines in the collective who might be on the fence. Our friends, our social groups that may not know that this is happening. Okay? Got soulmate out here, spirit-wide. Like I started, you know, when I first said this isn't about whether you believe it in or not. We're talking about extremism, okay? And what is to happen to those cases that are extreme, okay? We need, listen, while this country is figuring out our stance, we can't let this happen. Look at this, soulmate, happily ever after. They're stealing your rights from you right now, okay? This is gonna cause so much unrest and unhappiness in people's homes so that these motherfuckers can say, look, I did what you wanted. You wanted extreme Christian rights? Well, we gave it to you. Fuck these families that are suffering. That's what's happening. Okay, flirt. Look, so they're flirting and courting these extreme, I think that they are practically terrorists, okay? Terrorizing people in their homes because they want them to believe as they believe, okay? And then what comes out? Maybe, right? Well, I don't, and this is, some of these Congress people don't even believe in what they're voting for, right? But if I vote extreme, then I will, the extremists will vote for me, and those are the people that come out in the primary, right? Most people only vote on the major presidential election. So I need these extremists if I want to keep my job, and they regret it. It's embarrassing to them, but they ain't gonna do shit because they feel like without that extreme group, which is a very strong power voting base, that they can't keep their offices, right? So they keep silent and they keep pushing these agendas, right? And then for us women, you gotta decide whether you're gonna stay supporting people that are voting against your own interests, against your own family's interests, against the feminine, against her ability to have a quality of life. That poor woman whose tube blew up when they could have saved her tube by giving her an abortion. Now she may never have children. Guys, and I know it might have sounded funny when I was saying we should have mandatory sterilization, right? And I'm not saying that I really believe that that should happen. I didn't believe that it should happen to women either. But I'm honestly like, listen, if it means that we got to sacrifice a few good men to get our situation back, our rights, then that's what it's going to have to be, gang. Okay? And what do we need Viagra for? Okay? You want to use the money appropriately? Throw that Viagra money that you guys spent billions of dollars to keep erections going and put it to breast cancer. How about that? Guys, I'm sorry. I know I blacked out through this whole entire reading. But it really does upset me. It really does upset me, okay? Because the young people, they feel the restriction, but they're about to see all these stories that are going to be breaking in the news about people who are, going through terrible situations at the hands of government. And I don't know about you, but I feel like they should take their opinions, their hands, and their laws out of our vaginas. Okay? That's what I feel about it. All right? So that's what I have for you guys. Please go and check out the stories, and so that you know that I wasn't making any of this shit up. Get some skin in the game, guys. All right? So I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings on blessings. Namaste.